Okay, we are live on another edition of the Edlow Podcast. Subscribe. We have a special guest. We have the wonderful Piper Edlow on. Hello, Piper.
Hello.
Well, I'm excited for this one because now we've ventured into the top 7 lists. We've had, Lincoln came on, talked about top 7 video games. Lexi came on, did a top 7 musicals. And today, Piper and I are going to talk about our top 7 shows to stream. Now, here's the interesting thing about this list. This is what we've decided to do with this list. So I asked Piper, I said, so the shows that you picked, are they only streaming or were they originally TV shows and now streaming? And she is too young to even remember what real TV is. So
No, I know what it is. I just don't know for sure if one of these has been on like as a show or not.
okay, all right.
It's an older show, so it probably has, but
Okay, all right.
I think it has. It's old enough for that.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. So what do you think is old enough for that? How old does it have to be that old in your mind?
80s, 90s?
Okay, all right. That's fair enough.
I think it's a 90s show.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm interested to hear it because I loved all the 90s shows. So we're doing our top 7. So this is
You know the show. You know the show.
Okay.
You've seen me.
I have a feeling I know what it is. But so this list is not specifically shows that only streamed on a streaming service. These are shows that we just happen to love to stream, binge watch over and over and over. And so this is our top 7. And of course, as we go through our list, if you want to put in the comments on YouTube or wherever you're listening and tell us what your favorites are, please do. But these are ours. And so you also, if there was one that almost made the list, we might talk about like an honorable mention. If there's somebody, some show that we want to talk about but didn't quite make the top 7, we can do that. And then also, so Piper, here's how we're going to do it. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're going to give your top 7 and then I'll give my top 7.
Are we going to go from 7 to 1 or 1 to 7?
7 to 1. We go from 7 to 1.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Making this list made me realize how childish the shows I watch are sometimes.
Well,
as in, like, a lot of them are pretty bad.
Well, listen, you know what? Mine are probably the same way. So, okay, here we go.
Should I read them in order, or should we go one at a time, kind of thing?
Go one at a time, and you're gonna go top. You're gonna go to number 7, and I'm gonna ask you some questions about each one. Okay. So here we go. All right. So give us
7.
What's your number 7? Jesse. Wait, that's not the older show, is it?
No, it's not.
So what is Jesse? I don't know what that is.
It's Debbie Ryan. It's the one about the nanny. You've seen us watch.
Oh, okay. All right. So Jesse, and where is it streaming?
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. All right. And so you've been binging Jesse, huh? Who's the main star on that one?
Debbie Ryan.
Debbie Ryan. Has she been in anything else?
She was in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Deck.
Oh, okay.
I watched that show. I should have put that on, actually, but no, too late. That'll be an honorable mention.
Okay, so an honorable mention is what? What was it called?
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Deck.
On Deck?
It's the second series where they're on a
boat. Oh, okay. And is that also on Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Are most of your
that as well as Jesse?
Are most of your shows on Disney Plus?
I think 1, 2, 3 of them.
Okay. All right. So there's your number 7 and your honorable mention. So tell me, what is your number 6?
Assassination Classroom. You don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Assassination Classroom. Is that? I'm concerned. So tell me.
Anime. It's an anime.
It's a nanny?
Anime.
It's an anime. Okay. Yeah, you're big into anime, Studio Ghibli and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I knew
where
it
do you
would sound
find
really bad to you, but yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
I watched it on Hulu.
All right. What's its rating?
I don't know. I read the books first, the mangas.
So
It's just
there's nothing. It's not
about
like.
a class trying to kill an alien.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Assassination Classroom. What do you like about anime? Why do you like anime so much?
I mean, there's a freedom to like what they can create, because like
Mm,
it's kind of not as many rules. The rules of physics aren't exactly a thing in there. So the animation gets really extreme. Like the animators
interesting.
obviously do way more work than they're paid to do. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Really
Assassination
cool.
Classroom. Is that one that's popular amongst all the anime fans, or is that just one that's specific
I
to you?
mean, it's a known. It's pretty known.
Okay. All right.
I
Do
don't know
your
how
friends like
popular it is.
anime?
Yeah, a couple.
Okay, so do they watch it too?
Mainly one of them watches it. I don't know
Okay.
about the others as much, but I know one of them definitely does.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So that's your number 6,
Hmm.
Assassination Classroom. All right.
Yeah,
So what's number 5?
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Nice. Do you still stream that every now and then?
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah. Because I haven't
Mhm.
seen you watch that in a long time. I know you used to
You
watch it
also
all the
don't see a
time.
lot of the things I watch.
Yeah.
You're at work usually when I'm watching
That's a
stuff.
good point. That's a good point. Still, thanks for making me feel like an absentee father. I'm around. Anyway, okay.
You're not.
All right.
No, it's just usually when you end up getting home, I'm on YouTube by the time you get home.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, you've switched to a different service. Anyway, okay. So we now have Gravity Falls, which is funny. I like Gravity Falls. I never watched it
Gravity
that
Falls
much,
is
but it
good.
was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
good.
does that stream on Disney Plus?
It's Disney Plus, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now we have that. Now, what is your number 4? We're getting into the nitty
Sister,
gritty now.
Sister. That's the number
Sister,
one.
Sister. Oh, I
I feel like
remember
you would have
Sister,
gotten that.
Sister.
You saw me
Yeah.
watching it all the time.
I knew that was what it was going to be when you said you had a 90s show.
Hmm.
I was guessing it was either going to be
I
that or
binged in
Full
like a
House.
week. I haven't actually been able to watch Full House. Like a few episodes I've seen, but I haven't been able to fully watch it just yet. I'm planning on it.
Well,
I just keep forgetting.
yeah. Yeah, Full House is a good one. I would tell you that if you could see all of the old TGIF shows, you would love all of them. You would love them all. Like the ones you would like would be there would be that one, Full House. You'd love
Hmm.
Family Matters. You'd like you. I don't know if you'd like Perfect Strangers. You probably would. But then there's Step by Step. That's another one that's really good too. Family Matters is the one with Steve Urkel, who was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
yeah. And then
Divine
you
Divine.
had for yeah, and then they also had a TGIF show called Dinosaurs that I think is on Disney Plus right now. That was actually pretty good too.
Is that
So
the one with like the dinosaur family? The not the mama
yeah,
thing?
yes, that's the one.
I've
Yeah,
seen
have
the
you watched?
not the mama scene. It was like a meme for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good show too. So okay, so your number 4 is Sister Sister. What is your number 3?
Stranger Things. It's a pretty good show.
This is so frustrating for me. So for everybody who listens to this, let me tell you why this is frustrating for me. Because for the first 3 seasons, we all
I
loved
watched
this
the first
show.
two.
We all watched it.
I watched the first
You
two
you
seasons.
did. You did watch the first 2, and then you started refusing to watch it as we all watched it
Okay, let
together.
me
And
give
then,
my side of the story. Okay, I was a young kid when
uh,
they started coming out, right? Right, and I got
uh,
nightmares easily when I was younger. And the first 2 seasons freaked me out, and also the third season ended up being pretty creepy. And so I
yeah,
had
third
refused to
season was
keep
scary.
watching them. And then
Was the third one in the mall?
Mind Flare, yeah, like the big
Okay.
giant gross
Yeah.
monster Mind Flare. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I kept that, and then I wouldn't watch it because I didn't like that, and then there kept popping up scenes of the later stuff on YouTube that I would watch, and since I was older and I didn't get nightmares as easily, I was able to watch it, and because I watched it with Lily because she wanted to watch it too, and we were hanging out, you think it's because she wanted to watch it. I actually brought up watching it. She didn't.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, now you're into Stranger
And
Things. I
let
mean,
it go.
season 5 is supposed to come out soon, right?
Mhm.
Do we have an idea when the date is?
I don't know. I
Hmm.
did hear
Well,
something about like it's supposed to be like in the future or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's
well, I
happening.
hope
I've heard a
so.
lot of
Well,
rumors
I
about
hope
it.
so.
No, about them
All
being
the
like
care.
adults. What happens?
Well, they would have to be that because they are adults. They're in their 20s now. They're not kids.
Yeah, but they're playing teenagers.
Yeah, but they're not teenagers anymore.
But they can act
How are
like
they supposed to?
teenagers. They look like teenagers.
What are you talking about? Like 11 is like
Well,
24. She can't play. She can't.
she still looks the age she plays in season 4, and her face hasn't changed
Well,
that much.
yeah, but season 4 was like 4 or 5 years ago. A lot changes.
Her face has not
Imagine.
changed that much.
Well, neither has yours. But you're 5 years ago. You looked way different than you look now.
I keep seeing like stuff with like interviews of her. She looks the same.
Okay. All right. We'll see. All right. All right. So that's your number 3, Stranger Things. Now I'm really curious
Mhm.
about the top 2. What is your number 2?
Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Really? That's your you like that show, huh?
It's good. I
Now
like it.
you didn't
Marcus
like the
Phillip does a
movies
great
so
job.
much.
I like the movies. They're just not good to like, which a lot of people would disagree with me on. But they're just not accurate.
You mean not
They're
accurate
not
to the
accurate
books?
to the books. To the books, yeah. The show
Mm,
is way more accurate. They're not exactly accurate because it's a show. They can't get everything accurate, but it's
mm.
still way more accurate than the movies. Doesn't say I
Okay. All
don't
right.
enjoy the movie. It's
So
just
so
better.
if you're somebody who has never read a Percy Jackson book or something like that, would you recommend that they watch the show?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. The funny thing is, I watched the movie, which people will hate if they are book lovers. I watched the movie before I read the books, which is kind of what got
Mm,
me to not read the books because Austin kept complaining about how
mm,
bad the movies was, and I didn't want to read the movies. But then I ended up
mm,
reading them anyways, so
mm.
didn't hold up to my swear. But it's like the show. It teaches you a good amount, but if you don't want to spoil it, you like if you want the fun of like reading the books first, without being spoiled, read the books first. But if you just want to learn about the basics, the show does a pretty good job.
So, okay, let me ask you, since you're a bookworm, and I used to read a lot of books too, and go see the movies, particularly John Grisham books, because he wrote a lot of law stories.
Hmm.
So, um, I always thought, like, if I ever went to and watched a movie, I rarely went and read the book after I watched the movie. But there were several times where I read a book and then went to the movie, and I always thought that the movies were never as good as the books. So
Yeah.
if you were to recommend to somebody, let's say they'd never seen a Percy Jackson anything, would you recommend they watch the movies then read the books, or read the books and then watch the movies?
Well, read the books and then watch the movies. Unless
You
you
think?
like, I mean, if you watch the movie first, if you just want to be able to enjoy the movie then watch the movie before reading the book. But if you don't care about like accuracies, because it's pretty inaccurate, and they have something that's accurate now, then read the books before the movies. But like, I like the movies, and I was able to enjoy it because I never read the books. Like my teacher, he watched the first Dune movie, enjoyed it, then read the Dune after that, and could not enjoy the next one. Like he could not because
But
it's
the
inaccurate. It's like,
but the
you
thing I
enjoy it
like
more.
the but the thing I like about reading the books first is that when you read the book without seeing the movie, you get to create the characters, excuse me, their features, what they look like,
Yeah,
without
which
the
is the
burden
thing.
of an actor.
Yeah, the thing with like the Percy Jackson is that they don't
Mhm.
exactly match it, but mostly because Rick Riordan, he was part of the casting for the show this time. He was way into it. The movies, he wasn't really a part of. Um,
Hmm.
he actually went something because there was hate against Leah, the one that chose that was for Annabeth, because she doesn't match the
Mhm.
descriptions. It said he chose based on being able to portray the personality and
Hmm.
rather than that. And so it's like you got to be ready for the fact that they're not going to look exactly like how it's
Got it.
described and how you're going to imagine it. Especially if you read it first, you're going to imagine it and you're going to want the actor to look exactly how you imagine it, you know?
Hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
but it's not like Percy Jackson is not a blonde or curly hair. It's pretty black, and I'm pretty sure straight hair. But in the movies, in the show, he has blonde curly hair because they chose someone who could act as him. Walker does a great job.
Okay. All right. So that's your number 2. So what is Piper Edlow's number 1 show to stream ever?
Julie and the Phantom.
Julie and the Phantom?
Phantom.
Is that another? Is that another anime?
Nope.
What is Julie and the
based
Phantom?
It's based on a Brazilian TV show. I like the newer version. It's basically about a girl with a ghost band. I played one of the songs in the car.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I played that song.
Interesting. And that streams where?
Netflix.
And is that the target?
Canceled it, so there's they ended it on a cliffhanger, and there's not going to be a second season because they always cancel the good shows. But I find it's still really good.
I find that is what streaming services want to do. They want to cancel the shows that get a lot of viewers, not the ones that get few viewers. That just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I saw something. I don't remember what the show was called, but I don't know. There was a show that looked really bad and it had a terrible plot that got continued. But then Julie and the Phantoms, which actually is really good, they have great singing. It ended on a plot twist that is very interesting, and they canceled it. I don't know what the reasoning is, but
it's got to be that they were trying to tick you off. They're let's hook Piper, and then boom.
Well, I watched it. I'm pretty sure I got to watching it after it was already canceled.
All right. So the target audience for that show is your kids your age?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there's your list. All right. So the last one was, what was it called? Josie and the Phantom?
Julie and the Phantom.
Julie and the Phantoms. Okay. All right. So let me start with a few of my honorable mentions. Okay. I like to stream Everybody Loves Raymond. Have you ever watched that with me?
I've walked into your room when you're watching it. It's kind of annoying.
Yes.
His voice annoys me.
Yeah, his voice is kind of annoying, but it's funny. Another one that's an honorable mention for me is Love on the Spectrum. You ever watched Love on the Spectrum?
I've heard of it.
Do you know the premise?
Nope.
So the idea is it's a documentary show where they take these kids who are on the autism spectrum, and they follow them around as they date.
Oh, I think I've seen a scene come up every once.
And it's the cutest.
Too, right?
Huh?
I think Grandma watches that too, right?
Yeah, Grandma watches it too. It's one of the most heartwarming shows ever because it's just so full of love.
Yeah.
You should date.
They're some of the happiest people, honestly.
You should date an autistic kid.
That sounds really bad, Dad. Especially if I say no.
All right, and then the other one is.
I don't know who I'll date. Okay.
Okay, well, you still got some time, so we're not getting too
few months.
Yes, I know. Okay.
Dad.
And then my
birthday.
Finish your driver's ed. I need a driver. Okay, so now next, Cheers. Do you know what Cheers is? I think the last time I streamed it, you were pretty young. Cheers is about a guy named Sam Malone who owns a bar in Boston, and all of the scenes for the most part end in the bar. And it's really, really funny. They did a ton of episodes. And when I was...
that's the show that popped up on the TV when I turned it on. Because it shows the stuff that you have been watching. I honestly, for a second, thought of that weird cheerleader ninja movie you were willing to pay to keep it going.
That show was awesome. Okay.
One episode. And you were willing to pay them the cost to produce it to keep it going.
I know the pilot was great. Okay. It was, what was it called? I think it was called Karate. Yeah, Karate Cheerleader. Yeah, it was Karate Cheerleaders. It was a band of cheerleaders who knew karate and fought crime. And you know what? I know that sounds goofy, and that's why I watched it, but it was actually kind of fun. It's based on a comic book. It's real.
It was really bad.
It was not that. It was great. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. What are you talking about? You're
It was worse
lucky.
than
I'm
the
a
other Karate Kids, and I'm pretty sure I've watched
what
some of those. Then
what
like the new ones of the girl and the other newer
Oh,
big
okay.
one.
I was gonna say that was
And you
that
say those
was
are bad.
that was
Oh yeah,
brand that
Copycat
was
too.
oh, you such a
Which I'm pretty sure
you're
is one of
just
your top on your list.
all right. My number 7, Married at First Sight.
Of course.
I
Of course.
love Married at First Sight. You get two strangers, you get them married without ever seeing each
How
other,
did you feel
and
when your
just
kids went on there? Suddenly, it doesn't seem such a great idea.
no, it's not a good idea for you, but for strangers, it makes me feel so much better about my life. So this is great. I love it. It was great.
It
No,
makes
just
you feel better
watching.
about how you feel about your sad life.
You
Well,
know,
that's
you're a
what it
big
sounds like
part.
you're saying.
You're a big part of my sad life there, Piper Pipes. So, yeah. My life isn't sad. I like my life a lot. There's a lot of good in it. There's some craziness, obviously, but there's a lot of good, especially with you guys. So, okay, that's number 7. Now, number 6. I don't know if you've ever heard of the show. Have you ever heard of the show Ozark? It's kind of an adult show.
I might have heard of it once. I mean, it rings a
Okay,
bell, but like
so
not familiar.
here's the premise. Jason Bateman and his wife. He's an estate planner, a financial advisor, and he gets hooked up with the Mexican drug cartel, and he's their financial advisor to help them launder money through America, and then he ends up going to the Ozarks and trying to help them launder money through there, and it is so good and so intense. You should not watch it. You're too young, but
Was that the show that you turned on and immediately, like, the first word that popped up was a curse word? Like, you had it
maybe
paused, and then you unpaused it to keep going. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because you were thinking, I don't know.
I don't think so. Okay.
I'll
Anyway, so Ozark.
I'll wait for you to finish.
So Ozark. That's a good one. Okay. The next one. You. Have you ever seen the show You? Have we ever talked about that?
No.
So there's this guy named Joe, and he's a stalker, and he has
There's
a.
only 2 shows that I know I've definitely watched with you, and that was well, 3. Roseanne, whatever, the one with that Steve guy. I can't remember the game show for some reason, and the
Family Feud.
God Friended Me. Yeah, Family Feud and God Friended Me. Those are the only shows I remember watching with you. So.
All right. Well, I don't think you've ever watched the show You, but it's about a guy. He's a stalker, and just watching him stalk certain women and how creepy he is, but also charming at the same time. It's a very interesting show. The last season was actually pretty terrible. They're only doing one more season, but the first 2 seasons, maybe it was 3, might have been 3 seasons. The first 2 or 3 seasons was fantastic, and then the last season was terrible. So we'll see what happens next. So if you ever, and that is streaming on Netflix. So is Ozark. Married at First Sight is on Hulu. So if you ever get a chance, those are.
I've seen some things from what you've watched. It's pretty chaotic.
I know, that's what I love about it. It's great.
That one guy that people kept making memes about, fat dude that like.
Oh no. That's 90 Day Fiance, which is also
you
really
watch
good.
2 shows that are very similar. So
yeah, I've watched 90 Day Fiance a lot too, but I prefer Married at First Sight. So
because it's more chaotic.
I think they're both chaotic, but it's a more interesting premise. So anyway, okay. Number 4, Roseanne. I love Roseanne because it's just about a blue collar family trying to make it with a kind of a matriarchal system. And that reminds me
of it today.
That's not true. I watch it all the time. I had to just make sure.
You added it to your list when I reminded you.
That's not true. I would have put it on the list. The only reason I didn't initially was because I thought we were doing shows that were specifically streaming. But Roseanne was
Big Bang Theory made it too.
We're not done with my list, but Roseanne, Roseanne was really great because that was the first show ever where a female was the actual lead, and it became one of the biggest shows ever. It was really great. So Roseanne,
the show thing that they made, the reunion, didn't exactly follow how the show ended.
It didn't. They had to switch it up, and it sucked that they
I
canceled
mean, no, because the
Roseanne.
husband died and then he's back. Spoilers,
Right.
but
Yeah. Right.
it's been
Right.
around long
Right.
enough. You should know by now.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it by now, I mean, come on. So, anyway, okay. Number 3, The Office. I love watching The Office. Of course, it's the best show. That's the show I love falling asleep
Yeah,
to.
you're the
Turn me on
reason my friends don't like my jokes anymore.
Why is that? Because you used too many of the Office puns?
No. I use one joke around my friends constantly, specifically in humanities to Mary. That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly.
Like every 20 seconds, she says something that I can say that to, and she hates it. So yeah, when you get home, you get home tomorrow, you'll probably hear more because she says some weird things that can be taken so weird.
That's true.
If
You
you
got a
realize
friend
it.
sleeping over tomorrow night. That's true. Yeah. Okay, so The Office. I mean, obviously, that's like the most streamed show I think ever. Streams on Peacock. Roseanne too on Peacock. Between The Office and the WWE Network, like Peacock has become probably my most streamed streaming service. But and Roseanne's on there too, so I watch that a lot too. So, all right, so that's my number 3. My number 2, Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. It's been fantastic.
Who's
I'm
your
really
favorite
excited
character?
I don't know. I think it's 11.
You know,
I
Gaten
think it's.
Matarazzo was in Sweeney Todd, the play.
I didn't know
He's
that.
in a lot of musicals. He was also,
Interesting.
I think he played, I can't remember, but like the kid.
Yeah,
If you've
I
seen
like.
Sweeney Todd, right?
I have
movie?
not seen. I have not seen the movie. No,
I haven't either. That's Alan Rickman and Johnny Depp. So, and the lady
I
with the
know.
dog. I can't remember.
I liked. I also liked Steve. I think he's an interesting character too.
They gave him a good character arc.
Yeah, he's
You
been
know,
very, very.
Dustin and Steve's friendship wasn't supposed to happen.
Really, why'd they do it?
I think the audience really liked it.
Yeah.
Like they probably after the second season weren't gonna have them be big friends when he got back, but everyone enjoyed it so much, you know.
Yeah. Listen to the audience. That's smart. And I also
Great point.
like the cop. What's his name?
Hopper.
Yeah, Hopper. I love Hopper. I think he's great too. And that whole season where he was in the Russian prison that was awesome. So
How happy were you when you saw the trailer and saw that he was still alive?
Oh, I was excited. I knew that though. They would have shown a body if they thought he was going to be dead. So that was good too. But okay, so that's my number 2. And now
Cobra Kai or Big Bang
Cobra
Theory?
Kai. Cobra Kai is number 1. It's the best 80s throwback show of all time.
Where
We're
they
coming
gave
up
him
on
a
the
good character arc of finally realizing how terrible of a person he was.
Who? Daniel? Are you a Johnny fan? Are you
I'm
Team
saying
Cobra Kai?
realizing how terrible of a person Johnny was. He realized it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kind of turned
He
Miguel, though. Was his name
well, Miguel, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Cobra. Here's what you learn about Cobra Kai.
I haven't watched
In
past season 1.
Well, you should. What you learn is that Daniel and Johnny are actually the same character. They just grew up in different lives. They're the same person.
Oh yeah.
But Johnny, basically, they're the
He's
same person, just with a different karate teacher. And so you learn that they actually had so many similarities, and the only reason that they were different was because of the teaching that they had.
If only Johnny was shot for Mr. Miyagi.
Well, now the cool thing, he may have. Well, and in the series, there was a part where Allie and him reconnected.
Oh, I know. I've seen the episode. You were watching it.
I know. It was amazing. You should watch the whole thing.
I'm dead.
The last season.
You forced me to watch Karate Kid too many times. I'm not watching Cobra Kai.
Here's the thing, Piper. You unfortunately, what you do, just to spite me, is you are just depriving yourself of really good TV.
Hey, I watched a lot of the shows you had us watch. Like Roseanne, Big Bang Theory, I watched a lot of those. You forced us to watch every episode of The Office with you.
And you're a better woman for it.
So,
just ask Mary. Just ask Mary.
She hates it. I blame you. I blame you.
All right. Okay. So, of all of the shows that you put on your top 7, if I was going to watch one that I haven't watched yet, which one do you think would be the one that I would
You've
like the
seen Sister
most?
Sister, haven't you?
I have seen Sister Sister, but what about one of the newer ones? You think Assassination Classroom, or do you
No,
think,
I don't
or do
think
you
you
think
like that.
Julie, or do you think Julie and the
I
what was it
mean,
called?
you like music and a little into romance and drama and stuff. I mean, you don't like books, but you might like Percy Jackson. It has Edge in it, the wrestler. He plays Ares.
I do remember seeing that as I was walking by while you were
It's a pretty
watching it.
sad fight scene, to be honest,
Yeah,
between
he
Ares
he
and
played
Ulysses.
he played
Ares.
Ares. Hmm.
Which means he'll show up a lot throughout, because Ares shows up a few times throughout the books.
Cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm
It's coming
surprised.
out
Did you ever watch the show Wednesday?
I mean, I've seen stuff, but I never really got around to watching it because Lexi watched it first, and then I never just got to it.
Yeah, that was one I never really watched either, but I heard it was pretty good. Same with the series of Unfortunate Adventures. I tried to watch that
I watched
and
like
I kept
season
getting
1.
bored. Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. But
Sorry,
did
you
you
made me
ever
forget.
watch?
I had an
Did
honorable mention to mention, but I forgot what it was because of you.
I am sorry. What about Willow, the new Willow thing? Did you ever try the new Willow thing?
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either.
I like the first one. It was pretty good.
Okay.
I liked it even when I watched it as a little kid, where you think a little kid would be bored of that. No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all right. So there were our top 7 lists. So, okay. So which one of these of mine are you going to watch?
I've seen a good deal of those, so
I think
I'm not watching Cobra Kai.
I think you should watch season 2 of Cobra Kai. Just
No.
season 2. You've
I
seen
think I've
season
seen
1.
like 1 or 2 episodes from that. I'm good.
All right. What about Married at First Sight? Will you watch a season of Married at First Sight with me?
I've seen episodes from that because you guys watch it. No.
All right. Okay.
I've watched at least Roseanne. Okay, I've watched Roseanne in The Office. Isn't that enough?
No, it's never enough. You need to watch Cobra Kai.
I've watched all the Karate Kid movies multiple times.
I know. When you were kids, for those who were listening, when they were kids, anytime someone was sick, we popped on the Karate Kid.
Really?
That was
I don't remember that bit. I remember when you heard new stuff for it was coming out, you made us watch each one. Kind of like Star Wars. When the new Star Wars thing was coming out, you tried to make us watch as many of them as possible, or at least the ones it related to.
Well, it was important because then, like when you could find
3 times. I've watched each
because
of those
then you can when you do
with the amount of movies there.
But then when you go to the movie and you see the little things that are throwbacks, you know what they're talking about. I wish I would have done that. Yeah, I wish I would have done that with Endgame. I wish I would have gone back and watched all the Marvel movies.
Infinity War without me, and then Lexi spoiled stuff for me. It was like I watched the Ant-Man and Wasp thing, like the newer one after, and there was a whole thing with the dust at the end, and I was so confused. And you guys were like, "What? No way!" And I was just like, "What?" At least I watched it before I watched Endgame.
That's true. You did. Well, all right. Well, there's our list. If you like our lists, like the video, share it along. If you have an idea of what you would want on your top 7, you can hit them in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. Other than that, Piper, thanks for coming on and sharing your top 7.
If someone from my school is seeing this, you didn't.
Share it with everybody at school. No. Everyone.
So they're only going to get 2 videos of me.
And maybe all right.
They find your Instagram.
All right. Well, I love you, Pipes. All right. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.